With the 6% of battery that I have left, I'm filming a quick video. Just got done with work. Happy Friday. Oh my God. It's been hectic and so rewarding. And I'm working with kids this summer, and doing some other stuff. But one of the best parts of my day is interacting with the students, just like one-on-one. I think when we're in social groups, it really affects the way that we present ourselves. And obviously we're social creatures, that's bound to happen, but I kind of like picking up on little things that these students do when they're on their own versus when they're with other people. That's not the point that I wanted to touch on, but the main thing that I wanted to talk about is flying under the radar and how that's truly a blessing and a curse. I've realized that that's the kind of person that I am currently and that I've been up until this point. And I'm having a hard time deciding whether or not I want to continue like that, because on one hand, the positive is that you can kind of do whatever and people will trust you. And, people will have this certain image of you in their head because it seems like you're hardworking. It seems like you got your stuff together. It seems like, you don't bite. You're not combative. You're easygoing. And so you have the privilege of flying under the radar. But that also means that sometimes when you say things, if other people say them louder, you don't get credit for them. That also means that sometimes you kind of feel outcasted because nobody's really paying attention to you, which is great, but also sucks when everybody else is getting that attention that you so desperately want. And you're just like, well, what about me? And that becomes something that you're constantly searching for. And that's something that I'm trying really hard to unlearn. That's a desire that I'm trying really hard to fight against, to change, because, I really want to change that. Because I think it does kind of wear you down sometimes when you realize that people stop listening to you when you start talking for whatever reason. And I think I kind of tend to internalize that. And I don't want the students that I work with to believe that people don't pay attention to them. Oh my God. I'm so warm and it's been such a long week, so my brain is low-key fried. But that's kind of my motivation when I am engaging with kids, of making sure that they know that there is someone who is listening to them, who is there for them, who is paying attention. Because at the end of the day, I feel like the core sentiment behind that, or the core purpose or reason for why we want people to pay attention to us, is because we want to know that we matter, that our existence on this planet matters, that someone cares about us, that someone cares enough to listen to us, to worry about us. And if I can be that one person for somebody else, that is more than enough. And so that's something that I've really been working on, and I'll continue to work on throughout the rest of the summer, of being really, really present with my students, with my coworkers, with my family, with my friends, and especially being present with myself, being present being attuned to my needs, to my bodily needs, to my spiritual needs, to my mental needs, emotional, social, being really aware of those, because that's a form of care, that's a form of love. I think that's the deepest form of love. And I hope that, that's also another thing that I hope that I'm doing with these reflections. Yes, it's kind of a brain dump, but also I hope that somebody feels seen with the words that I put out there, that someone resonates with what I say. And I feel so incredibly lucky that there are people who take the time out of their day to comment, to watch, to give a like. Dude, 26 people subscribe, or 27, 6 or 7. That, it's hard for me to even imagine like 1,000 people in a room, but 20, that's a lot of people. You fill a room. You can fill a small room. It'll be cramped. It'll be crowded. Like, that is so rewarding to me, even though for some people it might be like, why are you so complacent? Why are you okay with just this? But it's like, some people don't even have just this. Like, some people don't even have just, like, I don't know. We were talking about having best friends during work. And I'm just thinking, like, there are people who don't have not even one friend. Not even one. And so you really have to be grateful for all of the things that you have, because some of those things are privileges. Some of those things are so unimaginable. Like, there's so many things that I'm sure that I have that these students who are coming from low income, like, areas and marginalized demographics, I was in their shoes. I did the same program that they're doing right now. And I'm just like, holy shit. It really puts things into perspective. Like, and I'm constantly, reflecting and being grateful and stuff, but it's put it at such a forefront, at such center in my life right now. And it's really unfortunate that there are people out there in the world, just more locally, there are teachers, there are other adults, other kids who look at this cohort of students and would see criminals, would see kind of like the worst in them, and would refuse to believe in them. And I hate that that is the case. And it's really hard because we have to be stern with them. But I also don't want to have their energy, their joy be so crushed already at such a young age. And so it's a really hard line to balance, being an educator, being a mentor, of being strict, and also letting them be kids. Like, can we please have a kid-centered society? Holy shit, what would it take? So I think that's my purpose. Making a kid-centric society. I love to dream big. I love to believe that it could happen globally. Will it happen in my lifetime? Probably not. Probably not. Will it happen if I choose to have children? Will it happen in my children's lifetime? Also probably not, because the world might end. But anyway, this is so off topic. Main thing I wanted to say was flying under the radar. And if flying under the radar is going to help me achieve my dreams, I'll take it. But also, Don't be afraid to stand out, to step up, to step into a version that doesn't fly under the radar, that says, hey, I'm here, and you're gonna hear me, and you're gonna see me, and you're gonna pay attention to me, and you're gonna like it. Okay? Obviously, this does not apply to everybody. There are quite a few exceptions with this kind of mentality, but this goes to the people who have been conditioned. I'm thinking about women. I'm thinking about women of color in particular, who have been conditioned to believe that they should stay small, who have been conditioned to believe that people can talk over you. And obviously, this is not just women of color. I think there are other people who are just like conditioned, whether it be because of family circumstances, I don't know, like bullying, things like that have just happened. Anyone who has been conditioned to believe that they don't deserve to be paid attention to, that's just the norm, that people just stop listening to you, girl, whew, and I say that as a term of endearment. I hope that you find the strength within you to outgrow that version of you. And I hope others around you lock in and listen and pay attention to you. Because I think a lot of us have so much greatness within us that we constantly doubt. And it needs to be out there in the world. So that's my message for you. I hope that you've had an amazing day, an amazing week. And you know what? Get yourself some ice cream. I think that's, yeah. Treat yourself to whatever you've been craving lately. I was craving a peanut butter and